Hi, I'm Maggie Lakowski from Maggie Moon Tarot, and I'd like to wish everybody a happy Friday the 13th. And also, the full moon in Pisces is almost upon us. And Friday the 13th, there's a lot of superstition around the day, but for me, it's always been a lucky day. And when we look at the numbers in the Friday the 13th, the one, that's the magician card in tarot. So that's about our will, what we can do. It's about us. And the three, that's the Empress. Let me move over here so you can see it better. That's the Empress. And in the Gaian Tarot, it's the Gardener. And that's about creating. So it's about us creating. And then the one and the three is a four, and that's in traditional tarot, the Emperor. And in the Gaian Tarot, it's the Builder. So it's what we manifest. And at a full moon, things do come to completion. And then this month, what's interesting is we're in a 9-month, which is September, but in numerology, the universal month for September, we add the 9 to the universal year, which is a 3. That's 12, and 2 and 1 is 3. So we have a 3 universal year and a 3 universal month. And 33, putting those 2 3s together is very powerful because that's a master number. And when we look at master numbers, the master number 33 is about, it's a master teacher, it's spiritual, it's inspiring. And then I wanted to look here, this full moon in Pisces, it's Pisces is that dreamy quality. It has us go within, it's a mystical feeling. And at any full moon, we can feel some heightened sensitivity, and especially at this full moon, because I'm looking at my notes, and this full moon is conjunct Neptune and opposite Mars, so we can feel more emotional at this time with the moon. But also it's a time to go in, and right after the full moon in the US here on the East Coast is right after midnight, really at 12:33. So we see that repeating 3 number. And so right after the full moon comes, then we have Mercury and Venus. They're changing signs, and it's going into Libra, which brings us some new relationships open up, maybe meeting new people, new partnerships. So that's also a nice energy that we're seeing. And around the full moon, I like to do, just as new moon, I've got rituals and ceremonies, and there's some great full moon ceremonies or rituals that you can do. And one is about gratitude. And what I like to do is go back in my notebook or journal and see when the last new moon was. And it was actually August 30th. And so I like to look at my calendar, look at my journal, and see all the things that I'm grateful for during this time, the people I'm grateful for, the events in my life that I'm grateful for, even circumstances that come up that maybe didn't seem as great. Like for me personally, and I wanted to light a candle before I started, so let me just go ahead and light that now. There's something about that brings a little more sacredness to being here with you. And yeah, for me personally, one of my dogs got sick, and it was, came on unexpectedly. Luckily, he has medication to be able to treat what he has. But out of that came gratefulness for this little fellow. It's Mr. Finnegan. We call him Finny. And he is a companion dog to my husband. So that makes it even more precious. So even through that, I was just so grateful that he is here with us because he teaches us a lot of lessons. So you might write down some of the things that you're grateful for. Go back and look because we're halfway through this lunation. So this is a good time. And with the full moon, things come to completion. It's also a time to release anything that we don't need. So we can do that. Also, moon baths, because this Pisces is a water sign. So just bathing in water, being around water. and having some intentions for this full moon and what you would like to release, what you're grateful for. And I'd like to end, and it's a quote from Gloria Vanderbilt, and she passed away this year, but I love this quote of hers. And it goes, "I love to think that the animals and humans and plants and fishes and trees and stars and the moon are all connected." And so until we meet again, I would like to wish you a beautiful and happy Friday the 13th and a full moon. And I will go ahead and blow out my candle, and maybe everyone can make their own wishes, as I like to do for my sessions for full moons, new moons. There's something magic about the candles, and this is a beautiful golden candle. So I'll go ahead and blow it out. And then just ring the bell so that our thoughts and prayers and wishes go up to the heavens. And I wish you all a wonderful day, a weekend, and enjoy this full moon. Bye-bye.